I'm trying
All
to
right,
hook up
we
a
are
set of
live.
headphones. I'm sorry.
All right, well, we hear you perfectly fine. All right, so we are live. Hold on a second here. Let me pull up my. So tonight we are live with my boy Chris Critter Rizzi. So tonight we got something special. We're not talking about Cousin Vinny's mysterious trim joint. I'm not talking about a real deal. I'm talking about a real deal sit down with Chris Critter Rizzi, representing his brand C&G Organics, the North American plug for Hydrobio's Vital Humic. That's right, the same humic that'll make your roots dance like it's Saturday Night Fever at a Brooklyn block party. So we're talking straight black gold here. We're talking about teas. We're talking about humics. We're going to get dirty talking about soil. So, Chris, what's going on, brother? Glad for you to come on,
How
man.
are you guys doing?
Good. Welcome
Doing
aboard,
Hey,
man.
how's the weather by everybody? Hot and humid
Hot and
by
dry.
us.
It's crazy hot, bro. It's crazy
Yeah,
hot.
it's hot and dry like a desert.
We're supposed to yesterday we were at like 95. Today we dipped down to like 86, and from tomorrow all the way through next Friday we're between 94 and 100. So, and the humidity is like 86, 90%. So today was the only day that it's going to be anywhere a bit tolerable. It's going to be just horrible, you know. So how's it
Well,
near
it
you
sounds
over
good.
in
It sounds
Chicago?
good. I'm ready to talk, gentlemen. Whatever you want to start with.
All right. So
You want to know a little bit more about me?
yeah, I'm going to throw on some questions here, you know, and we'll get into stuff different, you know. I like to start off with a couple of little icebreaker questions, you know. Just, you know, lighthearted, fun questions. So, first question for you here is, have you ever had someone ask you if they can drink Vital Humic for gut health?
Say that again.
Have you ever had somebody ask you if they can drink Vital Humic for, you know, for stomach benefits, seeing that it's a probiotic?
100% they have, okay? Because basically what we're doing is our product is a probiotic for plants, okay? Now, you can't drink the plant version due to some ingredients in it, but we actually do produce, Vital Humic does produce a human version that people can use. It's an outstanding probiotic.
So, all right. So let's start with you know, how you got into this. So, how the hell did you end up getting into humic acids and into the dirt business, soil business? You know, what was the crossover? Because we've talked. I know your background and whatnot. You know, and different backgrounds and stuff. What was the driving force to get you into this? You know, I guess more agricultural side and whatnot.
It was interesting because what we did is I had been, as like, you know, I had told you about my history. I grew up in the propagation business with a family business. We did bedding plants and so forth. We had quite a few acres under glass ourselves, you know, but we were growing geraniums, hanging baskets, stuff like that. Then I took a career path into masonry. And then when I got out, I always grew, I always knew, not necessarily cannabis, but anything else, and just always stayed in touch with it. And when I retired, I got back into the field again. So that's where I am now. Now, I went to work for Sohum Soils right after I had a health health thing that we had to get taken care of. And I worked for them almost 2 years, and I was slinging soil, living soil. Learned about bacterias, learned about the protein-based amendments. And from there, I fell into Hydrobio. And tell you the truth, like a lot of people, it sat on a shelf for a while.
Let's leeway with that. Yeah, let's leeway into that. What exactly is Vital Humic Hydrobio for people who aren't familiar with the product? You know, guys who know me and you know and mess with our groups and whatnot while we had them. No, you know, I talked about it at length. You know, I wrote papers about it. So what is it, Chris? What's going on with it? You know, why should, let's start with what is it, and then we'll get into the, how it
Okay,
gets
we'll
into the
put it in a
food
fancy
government.
term. We're a bacterial inoculant. Okay.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
taking processes that are used in large agriculture, okay, and in small agriculture, all right, and we're taking basically a bacterial package along with its own foods, along with added trichodermas, along with sugars, and we developed a 100% water soluble humic product with so many benefits to it. And the whole thing is you can consider us a soil conditioner, okay? But the difference is hydrobio, the way that we're made and how we're fermented, that's the biggest part, okay? We are much more productive and much more potent than usually what you'll find on the market. I mean, I need
Yeah, it don't
250
take
grams,
much.
I treat a whole acre of land.
Yeah, it don't take much. Like when you start off with this product, anybody who hasn't, gone about using it and whatnot, pretty much this is a product that can replace a lot of stuff. I used to have bottles of this and that and this and that. It's a product that can replace a lot of stuff, and we'll get into it. But the one thing about it is that when you're starting off with it, it's literally like 0.39 grams per gallon. And it has a very high efficacy. The CFUs and whatnot, and the trichoderma and the bacillus and everything like that are through the rough. So a minuscule amount goes a real long way. You beef it up as you go, you know what I mean? And we'll get into that also. But it's a hard hitting product for what you use. You know what I mean? So getting into with the humics and stuff like that. So people who don't know, Chris, what are humic substances? Why are they so important, especially in cannabis? Cannabis.
Well,
production,
the humic substance, the humics, our humics are actually mined. Okay, they're processed in a way that what people need to understand is you can't just grab a humic and just throw it anywhere. There's a large amount of bacterias within this mined humic. Okay, and it needs to be processed in a way that you actually have to get rid of the bad bacteria that's in it. And it's really important that you do that. Okay. It's not like you can just grab a humic and throw it. Okay. It needs to be processed. It needs to be processed in the right way. And we do that so that our product, we carry no bad bacterias into the soil. And the US government makes sure that we don't. So
yeah,
it's an important thing. So humics, what they're going to do is they have so many different functions.
yeah.
I mean, you
Well,
guys,
the few most important, as far as let's just say let's say I'll start it off with nutrient availability. You know what I mean? So I'll start it off there. Why
yeah,
is
they're going to chelate they're going to chelate minerals. Okay. And that's going to make them more bioavailable. Means we're going to break them down. All right. So that they're available to the plant. Okay. And we're also going to stimulate root development. I mean, that's going to be a huge part of it. The soil structure is probably the main part of it. So if we're being used in a soil is very depleted in nutrients,
it holds it like a sponge.
it's going to help us break down what's in that soil that's basically kind of locked up in there. Okay. And once we start breaking that down, we're going to start adding structure to the soil. Okay. We're going to start being able to get more air into the soil and keep air into the soil. And with that, we're going to be able to absolutely create more water retention within that soil.
You get a lot of stuff. Cation exchange. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of good stuff that the humics do, man. I know
humics are something that we've lost in our culture over the years.
Yeah.
A little known fact that R.J. Reynolds used to, and all the food manufacturing companies, cereal companies, actually used to measure for humic acids within their foods. And in 1977, they stopped because they could no longer get a reading on it.
That's insane.
And that had to do with
disgraceful.
us dumping massive amounts of MPKs, phosphorus lockup. Okay.
Yeah.
And
taking in anything.
You know, that's probably the biggest thing, guys. I do a lot of large ag. Okay. I got plenty of guys that can't grow in a field because the phosphorus is basically toxic because there's so much. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to understand phosphorus. You put in 100% phosphorus, you'll only use 50% of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you put in, 100% phosphorus, you're only getting 50%. The humic and the bacteria are going to help us break it down and allow it to.
The humics, man. You'll notice using the product too. Like, a lot of people don't, you'd be surprised how many people don't know about, using humics and stuff like that when they're growing their reefer and shit like that. And all that stuff is literally the stuff that's going to fucking produce your terps, your resin production, your fucking, your the nutrient uptake, you know what I mean? The availability, it just makes the soil smarter. You know what I mean? Like, in my book, like, you can have some dumb soil.
It's the base of all soils, guys. It's carbon.
Yeah. Do
you know what I'm saying?
So,
it's carbon.
So let's get into like the different kinds of humics that you guys have in there too, because I think that's important for people to know. You know what I mean? I don't think people realize that humics are a range of things, not just humic. You know what I mean? So what are some what are some of the other things in the soil in the Vital Humic? Because I really like the product and I want people to get a real good description of it. I know what's in it, as far as the kelp and stuff, fulvics, et cetera, et cetera. Why is all that stuff so important, dude? You know what I mean? Like, why did you go with these specific items? Like, let's just say it like that, like, because everything's perfect in my book, but what was the motivation for like this?
I'd say probably my biggest red is efficacy. Okay. I looked at the products that are out there. I can look at any other fulvic product, just about every other fulvic product, whether it's liquid or not. And I'm going to tell people right now, be a label reader, see what's in it, understand what's in the product you're going to use. Okay.
Yeah. When you see inert,
if you look at a Vital Humic, if you look at a Hydrobio label, everything that's in there is 100%, right, Dave?
Yep.
So
yeah, you look at the label, it's literally, it has everything.
Everything equals 100%.
Yeah.
So there's no hidden shit in there. There's no inerts. There's nothing to hide.
There's nothing in there that's not going to be used.
Everything
utilized.
is going to be used. So you're not paying for water. You're not paying for carriers in the water to hold other humics suspended.
Yeah.
You ever notice a bottle of humic products? Usually you'll say shake well before use. Well, guess what? There's a reason for that. Okay. You need to get the stuff floating around again.
Yeah.
So
everything should have suspension to it, dude. In my book, if you're going to make a liquid product, it should have some sort of suspension. You know what I mean? Because it just
they have
to.
They have to. The difference is our product, and let's go with this. So you have our, we have our humic acids, we have our fulvics, we have our kelp extracts, right? We have all our sugars. We have other type of natural wetting agents in here, not a yucca or anything, the hydropropyl, okay? And then our bacterias. And the most important thing and what really drove me to this product is when I first was introduced, I was told that the product changes molecules. So the first thing I said is, bullshit. How the fuck does this change molecules? Okay? That's where our bacteria selection comes in. We talked about we're honest about what's in here. If you look at Hydrobio and read the label, I'll tell you every bacteria that I have in here.
Yeah, it's got Bacillus subtilis. It's got, it's loaded, like,
And the most important thing is there's a little number after it. So, like, if you look at our You look at our Lactobacillus plantarum, which everyone has, okay? A lot of people have it. It's no big secret. The problem is we use what's called a legacy strain, LPG18. It's very, very specific in what it does. And every single bacteria that's listed on that label, I show you the legacy strain. I'm not afraid to show it to you because you can get it all day long that you want. It won't be the quality and it won't be fermented like we do it. Okay.
Yeah, and this stuff
I
is
found that a
instantly
lot of products
too.
out on the street, guys are just blending them together. We are actually manufacturing. We are going to take all these products and we are going to ferment them for a very long time. All right. And that's the key to our product.
Let me ask a question.
It's metabolism. We're letting the bacteria eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And the more it eats, the smaller it makes the molecule. I'm going to put it in layman terms. I'm going to make it real simple for people. Everybody knows what Montreal steak seasoning is, right?
Yeah.
You can see the pepper. You can see the different spices in there, right? What we turn around and do is our bacteria go for a long time and they eat a little pepper and salt and onion or whatever, right? And then they shit it out. Well, when that molecule comes out, that molecule now holds salt, pepper, and onion. They're not separate anymore. And they keep doing this over and over and over, and the molecules keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's what helps us become so water soluble and so effective as a foliar spray or even as a drench, because our molecules are so small. So think of it this way.
That makes
perfect
perfect sense.
Here's another analogy. Everybody's seen a super dusty floor, right?
Yeah.
And you throw some water on there. What happens? It beads up. It just doesn't get wet, right?
Yeah,
the reason for that is the water molecules are so much bigger than those dust molecules. It can't penetrate. We take our product and break it down to a point where it could penetrate that dust. Do you understand?
Yeah, it makes sense. Let me ask a question with this now. This is one thing I'm sure that people want to know. As far as solubility, is it soluble in tap water, RO? It don't matter. It's 100% soluble across the board, or is there anything that?
Dude, I tell you right now, Dave, I do not. I've told you forever. I don't pH shit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pH adjusting because it does it already with the kelp, with the fulvics and the humics. Okay. So as our product, as ourselves, we always recommend we go into the mix first. Okay. So that we can actually adjust the pH in that water. And we'll move it 1 or 2 clicks and it's always in the right direction. It's quite amazing how it works. So we act as a water conditioner too.
Well, here's a question.
But yes,
also,
you can mix it with anything, Dave, and you can mix it with just about any product you want to mix it with.
Yeah, I've used it with every different. Because you know me, I'm always messing with different products because companies, they ask me to and this and that. So I'm always flying through different shit, and I've used it with everything. Salts, your teas, Roots teas, fucking, this guy's teas, you know what I mean? And fucking House and Gardens, Utopic. The list goes on, and
Dave, we can mix them together.
Yeah, I've done that also, but I find this is the thing that's great about it is that when a lot of stuff that I've used when I start adding in, feeding salts in or something like that, their fucking CFUs aren't big enough to fucking handle the salt fucking barrage. So fucking you get a drop off in your microbials, you get a drop off in your uptake, fucking it just comes across and just fucking slams everything because it's literally killing, 90% of your bacteria and fungi. You know what I mean? Sometimes, some of these products
100%
handle it. So with this stuff, even if you're gonna hit salts with it, it's not gonna fucking knock it down so much that it's gonna fucking cause any kind of a disruption in your fucking path. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing I like about it. You know, is that
And and that's why we developed it, Dave, to be more as an inoculant, or let's say it's better we microdose and use it every time.
yeah,
Do it once a week, once a month, once a year. Okay.
I yeah, I agree. You know, I agree.
And that's the intention, and we can do it at a scalable, especially commercial growers. You get into the commercial end of it, our cost to micro dose and outdoor grows is freaking pennies.
When did we figure it
I mean,
out to
it's
be when
literally
we
pennies.
figured out for remember when me and you figured out for indoor growers as far as like fucking the 850 gram, we figured it out like per plant and shit like that. What was it again? Do you remember when we had that conversation? And
I
we were
guess it
able
all
to literally
depends
knock it
on
down.
how far you want to push and what you want to do.
Yeah,
But
I
let's
think we
put it
did it.
this way: as a commercial grow, and I'm going to
Yeah.
go more outdoor, Dave, a little bit,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You
because
can go
those numbers are
commercial
kind
too,
of
bro.
fresh on my head because of the season.
Yeah, yeah,
But
hit it.
literally right now, I can treat hydrobio to 4,600 25-gallon pots outside. This is one of my grows that does it all the time. Okay. And they grew for 7 weeks. And that's the first part of the season. We were fixing the plants. We were fixing them. They had a huge problem going on.
I remember.
So we did all that. By the time I got done, the total cost was less than 50 cents per plant for that entire 7 weeks.
That's
And
very
that's with
cost.
repair.
So
Hell yeah. And that's with repair and fucking, full on fucking run. Like that's good. That's real good.
I mean,
I'd use it.
that's really, really inexpensive. If you want to push it, I mean, what can I tell you? Depending on how you buy it and what you do, you could be, 25, could be 50 cents a gram, depending on how you buy it, what quantities.
Yeah.
And then what do you want to use it? If you're a guy who's a craft guy and wants to push it some more, some guys, it's well worth spending the extra. You know what I mean? If you're commercial and you want to use it more as a maintenance thing, then, we can run that route too.
So I want to get into a little bit of the teas and stuff too, and continue with this also, mix it in a little bit and whatnot. But
hey, Dave, before we move on from the hydrobio, can I give you one other thing that I think is really important?
Dude. Yeah, go ahead. I was going to keep just circling it in and whatnot, but yeah, go ahead.
No, that's fine, man. If you're going to circle it in, that's great because, yes, there's humic. Yes, there's fulvics. There's a lot of things that we have to offer in that end of it. But I definitely want to make sure we touch on our effectiveness as a fungicide, our effectiveness as an insecticide.
Oh yeah,
effectiveness.
I was going to get into the foliar. We can go right into foliar then, dude. Fucking, you know what I mean? Because that's one of the things I was going to get rolling into.
This is where hydrobio gets really, really, really fun.
See, that's what I was wondering. The versatility of it.
Kick it, dude. Go ahead. Enjoy.
I'm telling you, that's the shit. Yeah. That's our shit. So during our fermenting process, we talked about our bacterias, right? Well, we actually use these specific legacy strains because of their ability, and I'm going to use big word here, biosynthesized nanotechnology. Okay? All we are is nanotechnology. We're trying to create an adjuvant or a surfactant that allows us to take other products and make them work better. Got it? That's what we want to do. We want to make them work better. That also helps our product work better. I can tell you right now, us as a foliar spray, whether you're adding a fungicide with it, whether you're adding an insecticide, if you're doing sugars, if you're doing MPKs, anything, we are a 100% organic, basically a wetting. Okay. The nice thing is that our molecules are so small that we absorb not only into the leaf structure, but into the leaf cells. Got it?
Yeah.
And
Get
with
into
us
that
being able
mesophyll
to
layer.
actually basically infuse the cells from the surface, we are immediately able to raise Brix levels, not only within the structure of the plant, because much of the Brix is stored in the stem and the root, okay? And the leaf is also always the hardest part to keep it up because obviously photosynthesis is going on, right, Dave?
Yeah,
It's
of
using
course.
sugar as fast as it can take it.
Yeah, it's fucking, that when all that shit, getting into the palisade cells and everything like that. That shit's all stupid important. You know what I mean?
And that's all about our fermentation and us being able to get this to the smallest possible molecule we can so it can affect. You have to understand, if I go and I foliar spray, all right, a fulvic acid onto a plant, what ends up happening is that fulvic acid in its small form will actually penetrate that leaf, get into the cell structure, and create another cell right next to it. And it actually becomes blank. It's really wild. This cell is blank. That's how a fulvic works. Whether they're using it for pregnancy, for rebuilding the body, whatever. It's building a cell so that your body can say, hey, I need this other cell over here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that fulvic and I'm going to use that as like
The
my
transport.
copy paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why you get such strong cell structure when you're using a fulvic as a foliar spray.
And that has to do with a lot with the what do you call it, the aminos in it basically is what's acting as the fucking wetting agent almost, because it opens up the stomata. You know what I mean? So fucking there's a lot fucking of stuff that you're doing with this kind of shit that you guys have to realize, like fucking opening that stuff up and allowing this shit in is critical, because you can just spray it on there. The leaf has that little waxy layer. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to blast through that fucking thing and get that, get everything in there. This is what this stuff does,
And we want
Amazingly.
that waxy layer. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
we're trying to build.
but we want to be able to, circumvent it to get that shit into the leaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so that's the beauty of it. It's so fucking simple, and it's just got so many, things, because, you got to remember when you're doing that, you're getting in the macronutrients that you're not even thinking about sometimes, zincs and fucking shit like that. You know what I mean? So like all that stuff's critical,
That's very good you brought that up, Dave, because that comes back to the nanotechnologies. So nanotechnologies are built on bacteria developing certain things that we want. And one of them is silver and gold and iron. Okay. All those things actually are formed by our bacteria. So let's talk about the silver, Dave. And what?
Yeah, I was going to say, when people don't realize, like when they see those letters, like there's like two letters next to each other, ZN and FE and stuff like that. That's what that's the fucking zinc and gold and shit like that. You know what I mean? So
and
if you don't know that,
important.
like that's what all that shit is. It's important. Yeah, exactly. Some people don't realize, man. Like they're like, what is that shit? That's what it is. It's explaining to
them. And understand something. By us being able to produce silver in our nanotechnology, I think that's our probably biggest ace in the hole. And I think Dave can attest to this. If you take hydrobio and you trim all your plants, and that same evening you spray it with hydrobio, how fast does that stem start growing again, Dave? How fast does it repair itself?
It repairs itself real well. Like I use it for cloning, I fucking
What's that?
I'll take it. I said I use it for cloning, when I do my cloning, I throw it in the
absolutely.
water.
But you understand when we trim, you have damage to the plant. That's where you're going to have an issue with.
I'll fucking top the plant, and in literally, there's no stop time. There's no fucking anything time. It's just literally you top it, you come back the next day, and it's already starting to fucking go. Like it really does make a difference, man. Like like I've noticed shit like that. And I tell him all the time.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dave.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We're getting a little delay, so that's all it is. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I think, and understand something. Anytime you trim, you wound your plant. Okay. I don't care how clean, how sharp, what you do, you wound the plant. That just means an area where if you do have a problem, if you do have an insect problem, if you do have any of that, that's where they're going to go first. We want to heal so that the plant can continue to grow. Health, 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 and health.
So I want to get into. Yeah, I can hear you. I want to get into the frequency of the foliars with it, because a lot of foliar products you can't really, they want you to do it once a week, once every 10 days and stuff like that.
Can't really get too hard.
There's times I foliar with this shit daily. Like if the plant's acting a little funky and stuff like that, I'll fucking foliar daily for 7 days straight, But my normal regimen with this stuff is literally like every other day, every third day at the most. You know what I mean? But I really get on it with it. Like it really does make a fucking huge difference with the foliar game, dude. Like I've used a lot of foliars, and I'm actually gonna have a guy whose whole thing's foliar on here soon, and I have my leaves are being damaged by the foliar spray that fucking I was using. They're leaving white strip marks fucking on the leaf, and it's not fucking bugs. I read the fucking product. It says you may see white streaks on your fucking leaves and this and that. And I got white dots and fucking white slashes, and that's fucking that area of the leaf is fucked. You know what I mean? Like
it's like basically like pest damage.
Yeah, it's like scarring the fucking thing, bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can foliar spray. I mean, Dave, I'm usually going to tell everybody 1 gram per gallon for their foliar. You can push it wherever you want. I got plenty of guys that push way over that. Okay.
Yeah, I usually
But I'm going to tell you right now, you spray foliar spray next morning, you could throw any of your plant under a mic. You won't see a residue. You won't see anything on that plant.
It's fucked up, bro.
That's important.
If my lights were on, I'd show you the damage, bro. It's fucked up, man. And I couldn't even believe
if you are with some, if you're using some wetting agents or surfactant or surfactants or adjuvants, most of them are all oil based. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
greasy
so,
shit.
Now they're going to say it's organic because it's soybean or it's corn or it's not a petroleum, but at the same aspect, it's still an oil. So anytime that you're going to foliar spray and any of your IPM programs and all that, in which so many of them carry a heavy oil, okay, it's going to stop the photosynthesis in that plant for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if you have an infection or you have a problem going on, right, and you're spraying this thing every day, okay, do you think that's going to hinder the growth of that plant? Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to allow that plant to breathe. It's also going to heat the surface of your leaves because that oil is going to trap that heat in there.
You'll notice some talk going up, dude.
Do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Hey, Chris, I had a question. Now I'm kind of circle back. We got a good idea with the foliar here. Now, as far as the root zone, how versatile is your product with different mediums? Like I'm a cocoa guy. I'm kind of asking a question that viewers might be thinking of is, what about a hydro system or with cocoa? Is the application going to be different? Any things to look out for? That being that your product is water soluble, it should fit right into those regimens.
It should fit right in, but at the same aspect, I always leave out there, everybody's more than welcome to give a quick reach out. And I have hundreds of SOPs for the cannabis industry. Okay? Everybody grows different.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Jay?
Yeah, 10 growers have 10 different
everybody does it different. Now, I have for years running cocoa, running rock wool, all of that, just as a weekly drench. Okay. And it's great because we get the bacterias in there. We'll actually break down those salts better so that you'll actually use about 30% more of your nutrients instead of it washing out the bottom if you're using salts. Okay.
And that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it
gigantic. Now, I've had
them,
commercial growers, and Dave, this is where I get too honest sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I have some commercial growers that have said that, hey, 4 or 5 weeks into flower, it seems like I'm getting like some kind of nutrient, deficiency or something. Now, I've never really heard much of it, but when clients are big enough, you listen, and you got to kind of look at whatever. And so we've developed other SOPs that if we do start running into these issues, because guys, it's hard to know every salt product. Do you understand?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to know you could be running Front Row Ag, you could be running Jax, you could be running Athena, you could be running anything. So as always, growers, I would have to say HydroBio is the easiest deployed you could ever add with any of these different growing ways.
I just want to show you how fine it is. You can see, like, I just have a little fan going and I'm dropping it. You see how it's just fucking literally just going away? It's literally that fucking, it's that fine. It's that fine. Like, you can see it looks like I have graphite on my fingers. You know what I mean? Like,
smells like
it literally feels, yeah, it literally feels like I have graphite on my fingers. If anybody knows fucks with graphite ever, it's literally like that. So that's how fine it is. You can see it just fucking just going away with like in the breeze. It's that fine of a product, dude.
So Jay, to your question, we're actually working on an SOP right now where we're taking cocoa fiber and we're using C&G Organics. I have a 676 soil amendment.
Okay.
All protein based.
It's great.
And it's actually chunked, so we're not looking to get it super small. I want you to be able to see the chunks of kelp. I want you to see the chunks of,
oh hell yeah,
of everything in there. And literally for say like a gallon of cocoa, you're talking, Dave, what do you have an amendment next to you or no?
What do you like what?
What's the amendment mix per gallon? I think it's like 5 grams.
Yeah,
some shit like that. And we can adjust and we've had tremendous luck with running that with your regular regimen. We have that protein-based amendment that's in there. It's not going to hinder your drybacks. It's not going to hinder your runoffs. It's not going to disappear with a heavy watering. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because it's a large particle.
Gotcha.
And that way we can keep that through the whole grow and let the HydroBio be able to feed heavily on that, thus colonizing more, thus giving you more opportunities for your plant's potential. Even with salt.
Let me ask you this. So, what signs should a grower look for in their plants if there's a lack of humics and fulvics and stuff in the system? Let's just say, like, like people think they're getting it in, but they're not. You know what I mean? They may be using a whack product or something like that. What's some stuff that they can notice, like the product just doesn't have efficacy?
Well, I think what you're gonna find is first of all, I don't say anything bad about anybody. Because somebody might be as good as me, they'll just never be better. Okay.
Dave's a little different.
Just
yeah.
Understand. Just look at the amount of what's in there. Okay. I mean, we're 41% humics. Nobody's going to compete with us. Okay. Yes.
Usually 10% is like what you see.
People can put recharge in. It's going to help your plant. People are going to do, other microbes. It's going to help your plant. I got
Yeah,
that.
but you ever see what happens with
Okay.
recharge if you put a little bit too much in fucking recharge in a plant, bro? You ever see just a little bit too much and your plant goes fucking crazy. The thing gets all cracked out looking. It sucks
Yeah,
in. The
you can
leaves
definitely
shrivel
get
up.
that route.
Oh my god, bro, that stuff is just. I'm not a fan of that product at all. I think it's overhyped. You know, I really do. It's expensive as they come, and it's literally I've seen it just make plants go fucking to hell quick. You know, so I'm not a fan of it at all. So I'll say it. I don't care, dude. That shit. I do not like that product at all. I really don't, bro.
So
Not a fan
Jay,
of it.
Jay and both of you, I'm just letting you know. It's really I'm not here to say who's better, who's not. I'm just here to help.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
I think
if
that's the
you,
right way of approaching it.
I'll say you got a better product. I've used them both, and
Huh?
I'll say it. I said I used them both, and I'll say it. You got a better fucking product. You know, I don't care. That's my job. You know, that's what I do. So, um, I want to get into the teas a little bit. All right.
Let's go for it.
So what, as far as with the CNGTs, I don't know if you've called them or anything, you know what I mean? We just call them fucking T's, you know what I mean? But what's the base on them? Like, what's what's the build up on them? Like, what do you what's if anybody hasn't seen them, it's what is it, 7 pieces, Chris, and then the hardener, or is it
It's a
6 in the hardener?
it's a 7-part process for teas.
Okay.
Everybody said, "Oh, you got to shorten it up," but what we've done is we've actually, I think it was about 6-7 years I worked on it. Okay, where our goal was to, what is the best tea we can give the plant for that specific time of its life? Got it? So just like everybody else, there's an A and a B. You know what I mean? There's a flower, there's a bloom. Then they're going to have you add, this, or if we want to raise, a PK booster or whatever. Okay. So we're not different. I think the difference that we are is that we've taken, once again, all protein based. Okay. So there's no salts whatsoever within our tea packet. Okay. We take all these protein based amendments and I blend them. So I have a specific amino acid that I have manufactured for me. I have a specific Brix, a sugar that's manufactured for me.
I want to get into that Brix too with you in a few.
I have biochar that I'm very specific about where I get my biochar from. Okay. And then just your standard, you're going to have your kelp meal in there. You're going to have your crustaceans, bone meal, feather meal, all of those also in there. Okay. And there are some microbes that are in there, but those are all natural occurring that are going to be in there. And I blend them in a certain way, in a certain process, so that we have a tea number one that's specifically for. Now I deal a lot with guys that use a lot of guys that are using a living soil or organics, right, Dave?
Yeah.
And I would say this is geared towards that, although I do have salt guys that use them also. Okay. But our first tea is just amino acids and Brix. I don't need anything else. Your soil should have enough to get it going. What I want to do is get that plant stiffening up and becoming a badass right away with our aminos, and make sure we have plenty of sugars in that soil to get those microbes just cranking.
Yep.
Because we need to get that cranking as soon as we can. And then our second tea, which is a 735, it's biochar, our veg inputs, and amino acids and Brix again. And it's very simple. We just alternate back and forth on those. Alternate back and forth until you're ready to flip the flower. You should have plenty of stuff in your soil, and if not, and you're using salts, we're just going to help you out. And we'll keep you carrying and get you through that veg cycle. That's important, that That's probably the most important. We need to be the healthiest during veg. I don't care what you say.
Oh yeah, no,
okay?
that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit of stress when you're finishing out a plant doesn't hurt it.
No, it's
you know
good.
what I mean?
Good stresses. Yeah, stresses are good for
good
plants.
Stressors are good stressors.
Hey,
okay,
veg is like training for a marathon. You don't want to be out of shape by the time it's time to race.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you need the plant as sturdy as possible, because now usually guys are starting to do real funky shit with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, once it starts that hormone transfer, fucking, you don't want that fucking, that first hormone coming back. You know what I mean? Into the fucking bloom phase, because you're basically just stopping all your progress and just, you know what I mean? The plant's starting to do building back again. You know what I mean? Throwing foliage and shit, which you don't want that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's
crucial. And understand the whole time we're doing this, Jay, and I know Red, is that this whole time we're running hydrobio with all this. Okay, you're either brewing this. You don't have to let it brew. You could just mix it real quick with the hydrobio and deploy. Okay. Some guys like to ferment a lot longer. Obviously, we're going to colonize a lot more. But I think if we're doing it once a week, I mean, you could run it either way you want with it. Okay.
Yeah, you can load up on it, dude, and it ain't gonna fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I load up on it.
Honest to God, I'll be honest. I probably should tell everybody that they could take the rates I have for the tea, although they work great at the levels they're at.
Yeah.
If you really want to take it to the next fucking level, you can triple, quadruple the amount you use in your brew with no questions asked.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna fucking try that this time, because I'm still early enough in veg that I can make the move. But I usually double it down. But I'm curious now, fucking quadruple down on it. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Fuck it. I got that big ass fucking Trico Jordan in there, bro. I think it's kicking ass, man. That thing is like 3 times the size of everything else, and fucking it's gonna be a beast, dude. That thing is. I transplanted it 18 days ago, and it was like fucking like this big, right? And it's a clone. It was fucking it was in bad shape. So I was just beating the shit out of it with the fucking hydrobio fucking for like the first week, and it started to turn. The thing's about fucking like 34 to like 37 inches tall and about 3 feet wide now all around. It just went and just exploded,
And they're just healthy. Right, Dave? Bro, it's just healthy, right?
Yeah.
It's just healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy as a motherfucker, man. The fucking big fat leaves, just a happy plant, bro. It's a real happy plant, but it's gonna be big, bro. I'm gonna have to fucking put a tent up for this fucking plant, because it's gonna take up a 4x4, no problem. It already would take up half of the fucking thing, if not, a little bit more. So it's literally just gonna be a beast, and I didn't top it or anything yet. I'm letting it fucking, I'm letting it get that lignification going, and then I'll fucking take the cuts so that they fucking root hard, But I'm waiting on this plant. But I'm making sure this thing's a fucking masterpiece,
So we have so the teas were
years.
So the teas, I mean, we do kind of that very specific, and I don't want to go over necessarily every tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
We break it down so we have a first part of flour where we're just doing flowering inputs, bricks, biochar, and now we're getting into numbers like 267, 266. You know what I mean? So we're really pushing more on the P and K on them. But I think one of our most interesting 2 parts of the tea kit, and understand there's parts to it. And Dave, there's actually 8 parts to the tea. Remember?
Yeah, the hardener. Yeah.
The hardener. So what we do, and this comes down to you talking to us or listening to Dave or however.
I folio that fucking hardener, bro.
We do you do 1 week before you're going to flip your plant. I want you to foliar spray with 3 teaspoons per gallon of our hardener. Okay? And what's going to end up happening is when you flip those PKs that we're adding to it, it's working as a PK booster. We are going to set all the bud sites on that plant now.
Yeah, you're gonna see you're gonna see your pre-flower like bop, like fucking it hits hard, like like what I get. I'm curious to see how you go about it because I fucked with it a little bit, so I want to see how what else you do with the foliar after that. I'm curious.
And so I definitely that to me is the most important because there's where we're going to get our consistency for our bud sizes. Now we all have our colas. We know we have them. Okay. Some guys just grow for those mains and that's all they grow and that's all they trim for. Okay. Other guys want some more weight from the lower.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the best ways because if I can get, instead of having the plant uptake NPKs and then distribute it from the top down, we're basically hitting everywhere on the plant from everywhere. You understand?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That way, that's why the buds are always smaller on the bottom because they're the last to get the nutrients. They're the last to get the NPKs. They're the last to get everything. A plant works. It takes the inputs up to the top, feeds the mothership, and then whatever's left over, it allows to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you can. I hit them before the flip, and then I hit them fucking day 7. I hit them day 7, and then I'll hit them day 14 if I'm feeling fucking saucy, But I've done it 3 times, and yeah, it's definitely fucking crazy with those. The plants just go bananas. Like
it's nuts. Buds. And then we have a specific T number 3 that you feed the plant the week you flip. And once again, that's a hardener and a bricks and
gets a little stretch, right? That's the stretcher, right?
Yes, it is, man. You put that in there, it gets that beautiful little stretch on it.
Fucking the first time I used that shit, fucking my plant stretched like 4.5 feet, bro. But it was a good stretch, you know what I mean? But the fucking thing just kept stretching, and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I mean? Like I was just like, I couldn't even believe it was like that it went like that, But
here's what's funny, Dave.
The plant just loves it, bro. The plants just go woof, but they keep a nice tight fucking node to them too, bro. If you have good genetics, they go. It does it right, but they get huge for some reason. I don't know what it
just gives you enough room. It gives you enough room if you're trying to grow golf balls or if your strain likes to grow a golf ball. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, Ronnie. Yeah, it's I love that. I love the foliar fucking tricks, dude. I used to use an advanced product for doing it. I've told you about that. And it worked. Yeah, it worked really fucking good too. But you can fuck it up easy with the other one because it's it's a hardcore fucking salt. You know what I mean? So it's real easy.
Dave, are you still using a lot of your silicas and all that stuff along with the product? Correct?
Yeah, I still use silicon. I still use the silica. I'm never gonna not use a silica. You know what I mean? Like I don't use. I use a good silica too. I use BioAG. They have an Ion 14 and another one that's I forgot what the other one's called, but amazing fucking silicons. So
we got a lot of silica on our dirt out here.
The what?
So we got a lot of silica just out in our ground dirt out here. We got a lot of sandy land. It's full of silica.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. Fucking,
yeah, well, I tell you what, you grow in sandy loam with hydrobio, I'll blow your freaking mind.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
I'm telling you right now, you give me 2 years, you'll have the most organic soil that'll hold water.
This dirt I can dig down 10 feet with a spade, no problem.
That's insane.
Yeah, we want to be able to retain some water in there, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only way we're going to do that is to build up our organics in there with the humics.
Well, let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about let's get into the soil and stuff like that and the importance of building up the organics and stuff like that. Because everything fucking shakes its hand. So, actually, look, did we finish the teas? I don't remember if we finished the teas. we
The
kind of
teas,
fucked
you know
away.
what? The teas are a long subject. You know,
Yeah,
they're great tea. There's no doubt about it. And Dave, just to let you know, and I hope everybody who uses them already, guys, we're gonna get a real nice price point going on those. They aren't an inexpensive proposition to use, but I think a lot of people say the cost well outweighs what they do for the plants. But
yeah, enough. You're gonna have some of the best fucking smoke, dude. Especially if you're doing organics. Even if you're doing salts, like the fucking difference is night and day with the flavor. Like it brings out because it's got all that stuff that brings flavor out. You know what I mean? Like all those fucking fulvics and then all the humics, I should say, fulvic, et cetera, blah blah blah. That's what brings all that fucking flavor and the terps and everything out. So without them, you're literally just fucking, you're just hoping whatever the genetic is going to provide, but you're not bringing out the expression of the genetic. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you're bringing it to its potential.
Yeah,
that's I said that for years, and now I see it everywhere. Show your plant's genetic potential, right?
But it's the truth, though. You know what I mean? Because you can grow, you could just fucking throw it in something and grow it, and it's good, the plant. But something with when you do it right, people who have good genetics, even they're like, I can't believe like that came out. Like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it just you really open up doors, dude. Like it's just like one of those things.
That's important for breeding because if you're making selections off things and you're not actually growing things and making selections based off their 100% full potential, you're going to be missing out on so many characteristics, and you could be making choices that are just could be better somewhere else if you're not seeing the full potential. So to me, potential of the genetics and being able to get to that point is huge.
So how do we get to the genetic potential, and why do things work? How do we get there with organics? So I've built my whole belief. You have to think, and we talk about it all the time. It's called colonization. Okay? We need less than 3 colonies to grow a plant, gentlemen. We don't need, 25 million. All right? The reason why we want 25 million is once again, we're going to go into layman terms. Colonies. One colony back when we landed in this world, one colony was good at making steel products. One colony was good at making buggy wheels. One colony was good at doing this, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in soil. A plant sends a message down, says, I need this. Which one can I have? The more colonies I can give them, the more opportunity they have to get what they want. Make sense?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
It's that nutrition. Simple.
It's like anything, a balanced diet. You know what I mean? And 100% with soil.
Now,
literally a balanced diet.
We're talking about how does it help soil. So you're looking at where Jay is. Say if you were outside, right? You're sandy, loomy. Okay. If you're using salt's a very large particle, very large molecule. Okay. It's something that's going to stay suspended. We all hear about it. Too many parts per million, we get lockout, right? The plant's not going to uptake anything because there's basically no room for it. Okay. What we want to do is HydroBio is actually going to take that soil. We are going to adjust the salinity in it. We are going to adjust the pH in it. Okay. We are going to take all of your nitrogen and be nitrogen fixing so that it is available for the plant immediately, not down the line. Okay. The other thing is if we are in traditional farming, or if you're a guy that uses compost or something like that, okay. Compost is always better when it sits because we need the nitrates, or excuse me, the nitrites, okay, ammonium nitrite, okay, we need to change that to an ammonium nitrate, and our bacteria do that. Then from there, we want to turn that into a usable nitrogen for the plant. So that's where within the soil we help. So if you're doing some kind of amending with manures or something like that, we are going to take those amendments that you put in and make the nutrients within that more available by like 30% faster available to the plant than if we were to just let it degrade itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything in everything in the hydrobio has something to do with it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what it is. It's like the kelp does this. You know, like there's a happy place for everything. You know, it's like it's you know it's balanced, man. Like that's the best way to put it. You know, like that shit's balanced, and what it does to the soil. Best thing about it is that like you don't realize it. Like when you use this stuff, you're like, let's just say, you know, you're using whatever, fucking, you go out and you buy a bag of fucking Roots Organic soil, and you're using this stuff. This stuff, at the end of it, you can literally get that soil back in there, throw some fucking castings in there, hit it with a nice fucking thing of hydrobio, blah blah blah, and get rolling again, like fucking quick. You know what I mean?
Let them rip.
Like, yeah,
that's
like,
the point of our amendment, Dave. You know, for $5,
and then you hit it with the amendment. Yeah,
for about the cost of $5 per 50-gallon pot, we can re-amend soil and get it back to about 1,700 parts per million.
Yeah, like fuck that soil amendment shit's good, dude. Fucking, you know, it's real good. You know,
but
I like it a lot.
So you know, in the soil, it's basically we're trying to bring the soil back to what it used to be 100, 150 years ago. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we'll actually break down the salinity so you won't have that lockout. What we'll do with, like, for my sod growers, guys that are putting down, you know, their phosphorus, or even my farmers that are putting down phosphorus, they're not having to put down phosphorus for 3 years because there's so much trapped inside. Our bacteria goes in there and breaks that down and makes it available to the plant, that they don't even need to add phosphorus to it.
Yeah, that's insane. You know, that's so good, dude. You know, well, let's actually talk about, because you were mentioning the farmers and stuff like that. Pretty much you can use this on anything. It doesn't matter what it is, as far as if it's, you know, if it's a plant, if it's green, you know, you can use it, right?
I sell bacterial inoculants. So I have hydrobio as far as for plants and crops and that. I can use it anywhere and everywhere, and I'm a benefit. Okay?
Does it matter?
I do everything
like
from rice to hays to alfalfa to corn,
blueberries,
beans. I mean, literally everything. In fact, right now,
that's awesome.
I just got off with my man Pumpkin Dave out of Lower Michigan. He's running hydrobio. He ran it on his pumpkin last year. He came in 1,987 pounds with his pumpkin, second largest pumpkin ever grown.
That's a fucking giant pumpkin, dude.
Wait, Dave, he started a month late.
Get out of here, bro. That shit's crazy.
Yes.
Could you imagine how big
he
that
started a month late and caught up?
Oh my god. That's fucking huge, dude. That's like a fucking like a Volkswagen. You know? Like that shit is that's a big pumpkin, dude.
That's on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah,
that's actually on a low boy.
Yeah, you need a fucking crane to grab that fucking thing, bro. That's crazy, bro. Fucking a 1-ton pumpkin, you know?
We're used right now. I'm being used in a large farm in New York that we're doing blueberries, yellow squash, strawberries. We're using to control powdery mildew. We're being used to control root rot. We're used this spring to control something called shatter within the blueberry industry. You guys had a very cold and long rainy 2 weeks, Dave. Remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was fucking horrible.
Well, for the blueberry industry, that's devastating. That causes abortion of about 50% of the fruit.
Oh my God.
So we came in, and as a foliar spray, we actually come in and stop that shatter
Nice.
and control powdery mildew at the same time.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, this stuff is, it's good, man. Like I know I've seen actually somebody had powdery mildew and they didn't have anything to spray, like as far as fungicides and shit like that. I'm like, bro, you got hydrobio, like spray that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Every day, if they spray that,
yeah,
if you use hydrobio, I can almost guarantee you should not have a PM problem.
well, he didn't. What do you call it? He wasn't using it. He just literally forgot that he had it. You know what I mean? One of those things. Started like just doing his thing and just completely forgot that he had it. I'm like, you got fucking hydrobio. Like, start spraying the shit out of that plant with it and fucking get it in your soil. You know what I mean? Like, and he saved his plant. Like it worked out well. But I was just like, man, like what are you doing? Like you got, you got
It's
shit in your fucking cupboard.
It's just another reason why hydrobio should be used as a foliar spray as much as possible.
Yeah, it's
and I'm telling you right now, your PM are once again our bacterias and then our form of trichoderma that we have. I'm telling you right now, we can keep one of our big things is right now outdoor. I'm sure in New York as it is in Michigan. Everybody's having septoria. They're going to start having septoria problems here pretty soon.
The last few years, bro, have been fucking devastating in New York with that shit, bro. People getting that and oh man, I forgot what the fuck it's called. It's like a weird name. It's like one of those ones where you're like, you only hear about it here and there.
Well, they always fight botrytis too. That's another big one that they're always fighting.
Yeah.
So
which is the one? What's the one that makes the plant go black? What's the one that makes the plant turn black? You know what I'm talking about. I just can't remember what the fuck the name is. It's a weird name. You know what I mean?
It even gets those like little bulb thing sticking up after the plant turns black. Starts growing on them like
the whole plant
crazy
turns black, bro. Fucking, I just can't remember what it's called. It's a very strange name. Fucking,
I'll be honest, I don't know it.
Yeah, it's damn.
I'm not going to try and bullshit anybody. I don't know that one, but
hold on.
And once again, hydrobio, it can be used as a standalone or it can be used as an adjuvant to work with commercial products. Like I have a grower does absolutely outstanding with hydrobio at 1 gram per gallon and mixed in with 1% xylitol for their outdoor. And the trick is to keep that septoria at bay as long as you can. You know what I'm saying? And if we can keep it at bay as long as we can, and then eventually we let it run, get the plants healthy, get the bricks level up, we do extremely well.
I can't remember the name of it, bro. Fuck, I gotta look. I gotta try to remember it. It's like it's almost. I think it's 3 words, but it literally just devastates shit, bro. It's insane. Like fucking. Once you see it on like one part of the plant, it's a wrap. Like there's no way to save the plant. You know what I mean? It's just one of those fucking things. It's but it's a weird.
Now you indoor guys, bricks levels is going to be probably in my eyes the most important thing you can do to control any type of infestation. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't care. If you're going to wait till you get bugs, here's the other thing. So many, especially the smaller growers. Okay? The smaller growers have to understand this. Most soils that are out there commingle with other soils. Okay? You're buying them from a shop. You're buying them from a warehouse. You need to understand that. If you get a piece of shit soil in that has root aphids in it, anything that's sitting next to it for any length of time is going to pick up those root aphids.
Oh, 100%.
Okay?
They're going to be everywhere.
100%.
And so
mites also. Mites, you're fucked.
And mites and different issues. So you need to understand that we need to control that population from the time they come into your environment. And how do we do that? I raise bricks levels up to the 16s and there ain't a root aphid, there's nothing that's going to live in that soil.
You if you really want to fucking measure that stuff, you know, you get a refractometer and whatnot, and you can really get into it and fucking and muddle your fucking leaves and take a fucking spectrum test and really see where your brick levels are. You know what I mean? And it's fun. Like I have one. You know what I mean? It's like some real nerdy shit, dude. You got a prism and like all this fucking geeked out shit. You know, it's and you got to get it's a lot of it's a hump to do because you got to get enough, you know, like of the sap, I guess, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Got to get the juice. Got to get the juice.
It does, you know. You know, you don't get enough squeeze with that juice. You know what I mean? So you gotta really get a, you know. It's but it's fun.
You got the wrist, like Dave. I'm sure you got the Dave. I'm sure you got the wrist for it. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Fucking, are you kidding me, bro? I'm a professional air dicker. You know. Fucking, you know, I'm air dicking everywhere. Fucking, but
and then if we can get the bricks level up actually on the plant, understand most bugs are prehistoric. They're not used to sugars like that. They cannot handle high bricks levels. I get you above 16, or if I get you up into the 20s in an outdoor grow, I'll tell you right now, grasshoppers won't even bother your plants.
Yeah, they don't like it. They won't. They literally. You can watch an infestation. Fucking like they're like, let's just say you had something going on, you're killing it off, but you're still seeing residuals. But the residuals are fucking still causing damage. Blah blah blah. If you
and Dave, I'm going to send you.
You'll see them just walking around, and they won't even fucking eat the leaf. Eventually, they just, you know, they're done.
They're just gone. But we're really just trying to. We're trying to stop the general. What do I want to say? We're trying to stop the generational breeding within the soil. Okay. And if we can do that, that eliminates the bugs being on the plant. It's so simple.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I look at it like this. People spend money on the dumbest shit when it comes to fucking cannabis. I mean, like, the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, you're like, why the fuck did you buy that? You know what I mean? And then they cut corners with stuff like this. They don't use it, or, you know, they cut corners with fucking buying cheap cocoa, you know, and it's like cocoa's cheap enough. You know what I mean? Like, there's just corners that you just, you know, why cut them? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna smoke this shit at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Or if you're selling it and whatnot, one, you don't have to worry about having fucking a bunch of bottles of stuff. It's fucking all in there. You know what I mean? It's fucking like ragu, like the fucking ragu guy said. It's in there. You know what I mean? And it don't make no sense to not. You know, like it to me. You sometimes the spending the money fucking is 100% worth it, dude. You know, and to me, it's just one of those things, man. That you do not cut corners with, because, you know, there's cheap, shitty aminos and humics and stuff like that, but, you know, 10% is like the fucking industry standard. You know, you're getting 40%. You're getting fucking 4 times the product. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, you know.
I'm going to throw it out at this, and
that's what it boils down to.
It might be the only time you'll actually hear me actually toot my horn, but I really ask somebody out there to find a more complete product.
Yeah.
That addresses so many different things. Jay, you use a hydrobio and you deploy it through your irrigation system.
Clean line.
I'll keep those lines squeaky clean like you've never seen, man. Ever.
Yeah.
Squeaky clean.
I believe you.
Autopot.
The bacterials will eat that inside. It'll break down any of your heavies. It'll break down any of your metal, you know, your irons, your all of that. Hey, another thing is, guys.
Not to mention the root zone of what's being kept in there.
Absolutely. And then, just so everybody else knows too, you know, if you're planting into the ground and you're in a certain place, or if you get shitty pots from China or something, okay?
Everything from China.
I know, but you'd be surprised. I had a grower. We figured out the lead problem was coming from their fabric bags.
That's insane, dude. That's terrible.
Because
terrible.
it had lead, mercury in it. It had arsenic in it.
God damn.
So and cannabis is a bioaccumulator, so it'll start absorbing that shit. You know what I mean?
And
like,
that's where if you have any type of heavy metal problems, and let's be honest, a lot of the half-ass products that are out there already have heavy metals in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Nutrient-wise. I mean, there's a ton of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what you can do with hydrobio is we will actually chelate that soil. Our bacteria will actually surround the heavy metals, and it will not allow the plant to uptake the heavy metals.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 100%. You know, but you guys, that's shit that you have to think about, especially as outdoor growers. You guys don't know what the fuck's leaching into your soil during fucking storms. You know, runoff from people's lawns, pesticides, the fucking city spraying this shit, the city spraying that shit, shit's falling from the sky from fucking chemtrails, and rain's pushing it in. Your water tables could be all sorts of akakta, you know what I mean? So, you know, all sorts of shit in there fucking in your soil. So, bam, there's another reason. You know, I mean, just, you know, it's literally, it's as versatile as a product as it comes. You know, I want to talk about the website, dude, because now you finally got the website up, right?
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, it fucking took a little while.
Jay, I'm 58 years old. I was an old school salesman. I knocked on doors. I hated websites. I hated all that stuff. You know what I mean? And times have changed, so I had to actually open a website.
Yeah, I did that.
Get off my lawn!
It took me years to get the website up and running. It took about like a 200 person. Like, hey, when are you gonna get a website? Fine, all right. Let me set up a website then.
I'm actually building a website right now. Fucking for I'm actually I made a post about this, but fucking so a lot of people probably didn't see it. Since Facebook's been fucking everybody, I've been fucking working on getting something like a Facebook. It's basically like a Facebook meets like Grow Diaries kind of thing. So it's going to be the social aspect of Facebook, you know,
so like
the way the groups are, the way you can interact, fucking messaging and stuff like that, blah blah blah. All the good stuff, none of the bad stuff, the fucked up community guidelines and shit. There'll be community guidelines and whatnot. But we're also taking what Grow Diaries should have done and incorporating it into it. So it'll be fucking basically like Grow Diaries and Facebook fucking together into one thing. It'll be fucking all cannabis, no more shutdowns, no more losing your fucking accounts. Fuck. I have it set up that fucking we'll be able to fucking hopefully, if it rolls and starts going, I have it set up right now. The server will back up about fucking 350 million people fucking to it, so it'll be big enough to handle it. Yeah, dude, fucking like I have this. I've had fucking. My laptop's a beast, bro. So I have a fucking program just writing code for it, fucking right now. While I'm fucking on right now.
Don't give away your secrets.
But it's a beast, dude. This shit.
Don't tip your hat.
Yeah, let's just put it that way. It's a fucking beast, dude. You know, it's a beast. So if it's just gonna take, I'm gonna run a beta, you know, like a beta test with it, and fucking sign up like, you know, a couple hundred people, let them fuck around in it, and see, you know, if it's what needs to be fixed and shit. And I'm just gonna keep fixing it until it's fucking perfect, or until somebody fucking really likes it and wants to buy it. You know, but it's fucking. I think
if someone were to ask what's the biggest hurdle for the cannabis industry today, it would have to be the digital access to promote their company. It's just absolutely asinine.
Yeah,
the way that it's being conducted.
Listen, fucking, you know, I have it literally set up that every base has been covered. Fucking, you know, payouts to, you know, taking payments, payouts, fucking for, you know, after monetization, fucking, you know, you'll have to get to a certain plateau before you get monetized and stuff. But if fucking companies are gonna start coming onto the site and shit like that, I'm gonna make goddamn sure if they want to have their stuff in your group, that you're gonna get fucking something from it. If you don't get paid, you're gonna get fucking products out the asshole or something, but you're gonna get fucking taken care of. There's no more of this fucking, stringing people out for fucking product shit gonna be happening. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna make sure that all the companies I fuck with are the ones that are on there, and it's gonna be done right. I'm hoping to have have it done soon. As far as what do you call it? Like I think I can have the first testing thing ready in 6 to 8 weeks, and then once I figure out, what's fucked up, fixing it's going to be a nightmare. I actually just learned how to do this in the last fucking couple of months. So, and
I'm anxious to see it, man.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
cool,
and Dave, just do me a favor, man. As always, just keep it honest. I don't need bullshitters.
Dude, come on. Nah, listen. The way it's going to be, man, is that fucking people are going to fucking be able to, it's going to be done right. Let's just put it that way. It's going to be there's not going to be these groups that are going to come on there fucking, looking like fucking disaster fucking fight crackheads and shit. It's going to be fucking done right, man. Like I'm not having it where fucking you got these strung out fucks on there doing lives and stuff like Facebook does, man. It's not happening, bro. See people nodding out, drunk, fuck all that, man. Like act professional. If you want companies to fucking look at you and fuck with you, you have to act. There has to be a certain amount of decorum. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be sitting there smoking weed's one thing, but these guys are fucking trashed, doing the dumbest shit. You know what I mean? Fucking falling off schools and shit. I'm not having that. Like seriously, if you want to do that, then stay on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like go, run through a fucking wall on Facebook. I don't care, but I'm not gonna have it. Like I'll shut it down, dude. Like for real. Like there has to be. If people want change, you have to you have to walk the line, fucking to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like I fuck around and whatnot and have a good time, but the people who are behind me, that's why they like me. That's why I don't beat around the bush. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell them how it is, and fucking it works. It's just me being me. Like but I'm not gonna fucking sit there and have anybody come onto a site where where we're trying to fucking empower growers and fucking show all these other fucking media sites and whatnot. Like listen, you guys fucked up. You guys fucked up. You know what I mean? Like you want to throw us off? Well, look at this and fucking. I hope it explodes. You know what I mean? I really do. I hope it fucking comes out right, and I hope it explodes because I just want to be able to be like Instagram, fucking Facebook, all of you. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like you guys fucked up because now people are going to be fucking, able to do their thing and not be hampered and not be fucking shut down. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get shut down if you're a piece of dirt, scamming people and stuff. You know what I mean? And if you want to act like a fool and drink and make cannabis, not here to fucking drink and act like fucking animals on fucking lives. You know what I mean? Like I've seen some lives on Facebook that's just disgraceful. Like I have to look at it like that. If I'm gonna build it, there has to be a fucking certain, level of, I guess, like I said, decorum, man. Like the shit that I see on some of these Facebook lives and stuff, it's insane. I just can't see it having it, man. People fucking nodding out. It's crazy. I don't know if anybody's seen that one like 2 weeks ago. Fucking lady was so fucking drunk, fucking falling off the chair, went through the fucking computer, fell out the fucking door. Like, come on, like what is that? It's insanity to me. You're doing a live for people who come to, hang out and whatnot and fucking get information, and that's the way you act. Like, no good,
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't want you on my site. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Stay on Facebook. That shit's trash. Like, there's a certain amount of fucking around. Like, I like to have a good time. You know me. I'll tell some fucked up stories and shit, and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I also fucking know what I'm doing.
You're good for some fucked up comment.
Yeah, of course, bro. Like, no, listen, man. Listen. There's nothing worse than not being yourself, bro. Like I could care less, dude. Hate me, like me, whatever. Like, I'm gonna give you the same thing. Certain people just don't know how to. I don't know, man. Intolerance is a motherfucker, I guess. That's the way I look at it. But so let's get back to the fucking.
Yeah, go ahead.
What? Go ahead. What are you saying?
No. What are you going to name it?
I I was fucking. I was gonna call it Bud Book just to fucking piss on Facebook, But
I mean, it's appropriate.
it's funny, like it's funny, but I'm not gonna use it because I've already said it. You know what I mean? So I don't want some asshole to run out and try to fucking like scoop up like an app, but I might have forgotten or something. So I'm gonna make sure that it's not that, because all you need is one asshole to fucking buy like a like a pre-named app like Bud Book, and fucking and register it or whatever. And those motherfuckers got a piece of your meat. You know what I mean? Like, and
exactly.
I'm not having that. So I'm keeping the final name under wraps until the last second. Like even when I do the beta, I'm not even going to put the name on it. I'm just going to have the fucking logo, but without the name, fucking until it literally launches. Like I'm not even having that, bro. Imagine somebody goes out and buys the .com, the .net, and all that shit. Like so. I'm not even. I know what it is, but I'm not. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it soon. But I want to make sure it's the name I really want. That's why I asked people online today. Like what kind of names do you guys like and shit? Because I'm still, still trying to think if there's something better. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm curious to see what people come up with. I hope people. I haven't checked it. I think I seen one person put something up there earlier today, but I'm curious what people are going to come up with. What would you call it, Chris? And Jay, what would you call it? Like if you had to name that something like that, what would you call it?
You know what?
It'd have to be something cannabis like related, but like something like Bud Book sounds like a little too like elementary. If that makes sense.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
It sounds
dude.
girlish. It sounds girlish, Bud Book.
Yeah, like it sounds like like some fucking like a fucking Fanuc site or something. You know what I mean? Like fucking,
like the movie The Notebook.
yeah, exactly. Brokeback Mountain. Fucking, Backdoor Barry's. Fucking, but I'm trying to. I don't know, man. It's hard, bro, to come up with a name for something, bro. Because you know what the thing is? It's like the name has to be as good as the fucking product in reality. You know what I mean? Like like I think that it's a cool idea what I'm fucking with, but it literally has to pop because if somebody's if everybody's like the name's bad, it's just gonna get gaslighted everywhere, bro. It's gonna be shit on. You know what I mean? Like fucking. So man, it's stressful.
Dave,
bro.
I need. When I get done, I'll smoke a little bit here.
Yeah.
And I'll sit down and I'll actually think about it.
Yeah, think about it, dude. Fucking, because I'm literally like having a bitch of a time in my brain. Like I have a couple of them, but I'm not going to say them, because if one of them's the one I use, fucking, like I said, all I need is some schmuck to go running out and fucking grab it before I decide on it and buy the .com and all that shit, But man, it's rough, bro. It's rough. It's real rough. Like, because a lot of them sound stupid as all hell, Like a lot of them are just like cliche that you can come up with. You know what I mean? Like you could just sit there and you think about it, and you're like, like Weed Nation, or you know what I mean? Like just whack ass shit, But it's like stupid shit like that is like, I mean, stupid shit like that. Also, there's plenty of stuff that's asininely named, and it's fucking, it pops for some reason. So it's like one of those things. It's like,
Chat GPT.
You know what? I'm gonna actually ask it. Hold on a second. Let me see what it says.
Hey, since it's how about smoking trout?
Smoking trout? Fucking, what is that? Fucking, yeah, when you're there, fucking order a bar pie with a stick of pepperoni.
Yeah, one-eyed trout.
Fucking, what would you call a cannabis?
Social media.
It's crazy.
Let's see.
Everybody, also, in case you're interested, we do make a product called Back Aqua.
Oh, that's fucking good. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Back Aqua is for our hydroponic boys.
Okay.
I shouldn't say our hydroponic, for our aquaculture guys. Okay. So our Back Aqua is actually a probiotic for aquatic animals. Okay.
Oh, nice.
And we're also a lake and pond treatment. for helping break down runoffs and stuff like that. But as far as those guys that are actually doing aquaculture, whether they're doing crayfish, whether they're doing, you know, whatever species that they're using, I have a product we can easily add directly to the food, and we can build an SOP depending on what size thing you have. And what you're going to do is you're just going to feed them, and your aqua life's probably going to be doubling about size. Okay.
Oh, no shit.
It's going to be the healthiest creature you've ever seen. It's going to help break down their waste and make it more readily available, since they're using it as a feed for their grows, whether it's vegetables or cannabis. The only thing is that we want to still have the hydrobio aspect of it. So usually, guys, I'm going to tell you that you use the Back Aqua in your aquaculture, and we'll use hydrobio as a foliar spray.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we do offer that. I offer bacteria inoculants for pigs, for cows, for chickens, horses, humans.
Shit real good.
So yeah, understand the business wasn't necessarily built just on cannabis. I am a huge cannabis fan. It's kind of what got me into it. But yeah, bacteria make the world go round, guys. And I just want to say, I'm here to help. You can grow you can grow however the hell you want to grow. It doesn't matter to me.
Speaking of which, I gotta attend to my freshwater fish tank. It's got an algae bloom out of control.
That shit'll take care of it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll get you some Back Aqua to try out.
Yeah, I'm down to try that for sure.
Oh, it's gonna be nice because your freshwater tank, what's gonna happen is it's gonna help break down all that waste that's at the bottom of the tank.
Yeah.
And it's going to take that algae bloom, and we're going to take that algae and break it down and turn it into a nitrogen that the actual fish or the plant life will use, instead of it being a bloom and a nitrate.
No shit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would definitely.
You'll be able to use that water. You'll be able to use that water.
I'll do it before and after.
What kind of fish you got in it?
Just a couple like just basic fish from the fish store. It's got like a 60-gallon tank. No, I got some angelfish. I got some swordtail. You know, and some snails and some shrimps. It's kind of like,
and they're all fresh water.
Yeah, they're all freshwater tropical fish.
Interesting.
Okay.
I always wanted to get a mantis shrimp. Those mantis shrimp are fucking nasty, bro.
Oh yeah, those things.
Bro,
dude, I got a guy who's growing. I have a guy that's using Back Aqua. He bought a $300 above ground pool. He circulates the water, uses Back Aqua, and every year in his backyard, he produces about 300 pounds of shrimp.
That's insane.
No shit.
Insane.
In this freaking pool.
That's
crazy,
it.
Dude. I want to fuck. And salt water or fresh water?
No, just fresh water.
Yeah, there's freshwater shrimp, freshwater, all kinds of shit. Versions of
yeah.
And then the crayfish. I mean, what we do with crayfish in the rice fields is amazing.
Love crayfish, dude. I can fucking gobble down like 4 to 5 pounds of those fucking little bastards.
They're so fucking expensive right now.
Bro, you know, bro, I went to buy king crab legs the other day. I damn near fainted, bro. Fucking
screw that. Don't even tempt that right now.
Yeah, the regular king crab, which was like fucking, you know, like $12 to $15 a pound 10 years ago. It's like fucking $60, $70 a pound. The jumbo and the super king, fucking 125 a pound. It's like, man, like it's insane.
Out of here.
Bro,
dude, you know what though?
I'd rather a restaurant, and they wanted it was $110 for a fucking pound of it. I was like, what the? I was like, you motherfuckers must be crazy. Fucking.
Here's the deal, though. When you get into the big crabs, like the kings and all that, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like breaking a leg and pulling out a stick of butter of crab meat and just
I throw them on, bro. I throw them over the charcoals and fucking let them just brown up until they're brittle, and literally the shell just fucking evaporates. It just falls off, and then from the charcoal, man, that meat is fucking good. I'll fuck up.
I hate cleaning snow crabs. Snow crabs too much work, man.
Yeah, that's for the fucking Chinese buffet, bro. Fucking keep that garbage. It's like eating fucking dirt. You know, that shit is trash. Fucking, I hate those little.
That shit's for the birds, bro.
Yeah, fucking blue claws and all that shit. You fucking 3 hours of work for a fucking little morsel like you're a fucking field mouse, you know?
I do like a good blue crab, though. A soft shell blue crab's really good.
The soft shell crab's all right. You chuck it in a fucking, batter and
let it rip.
Fry the shit out of it. You know what I mean? It tastes like breading. It don't even have it. You know what I mean? Like the soft shells are the biggest scam, bro. Those things, literally, there's like nothing left of them after you fry those fucking things. You know, it's just breading and like some leftover shell.
Sometimes
there's nothing to them. You know what I mean?
North Carolina has a gorgeous blue crab fishery now.
But I'm sure because a lot of that's probably from coming from up the coast. You know what I mean? Because
it's all because of their brackish waters.
Bro, it's even nice. Off Long Island, the fucking the blue claws, man. There are so many of them, and if you know where to get them, you're not gonna you don't want to go near the docks and everything where people are throwing garbage and everything like that. You get them off out in the ocean side. They're a lot better, but man, the meat's all right, but you got to eat 687 of the fucking things. You know what I mean? It's literally, you got to have a bushel, like a peach basket of the fucking things to get a full belly. It's insane.
I like it. Hey, real quick, Eric Page says only grams for the social media page. I kind of like
bro. So here's a couple that came up, and I'm gonna say them because I'm not gonna use them. But Canalink, Cultivar Connect, the Resin Verse, fucking Canna Circle, Dank House, the Grow Room, fucking real sophisticated. Trichome Town, Toke Space, Leafline.
Trichome Town, man, let's do it.
Trichome Town. Fucking have a little Smurf fucking on the cover. Trichome Smurf.
I'll throw one out for you. How about Basement Dank?
Yeah, Basement Dank.
Because that sounds like a bunch of fucking cellar dwellers, like fucking creepers or something, fucking in their mom's fucking basement, fucking, acting like they're a fucking 19-year-old fucking Svetlana fucking Balachenko from fucking and it's some fucking 600-pound slob. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like the creepiest fucking website ever. Dark web shit, Chris. I'm ashamed of that one.
Sounds like your kind of party, though, Dave.
Yeah, of course, dude. I'm right there. Are you kidding me? So I want to get to the website and whatnot. Let's talk about some pricing on stuff for tonight. If anybody's interested in getting some product and stuff. The website, I have it right here. I'm actually going to put it up for everybody so they can see it. So that's Chris's website. What's the prices like, Chris? What's the prices like now? I haven't bought it.
So I keep it pretty simple. Although I say I have a shipping cost on all the products, it's really just a handling cost. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I don't get too crazy on different. I'm not out to make money on shipping. That's not what we do. Okay. Yeah. So on the price wise, when you see the shipping at $10, I think it is for most of the products, it's really just a handling cost. Yeah, other than that, I mean, we run anywhere from $60. Our next move, I think, is $121, and that's for 250 grams.
Yeah. So you're getting an extra 50 grams.
So you're doing really good with that. Now the 850 is the banger. That one's 274. But at 274, you're getting 850 grams.
Yeah. So now if you do the math on it, right? So each one of the hundreds is 60. You know what I mean? So do the math on that. Fucking, you're literally getting a fucking $600 value. You know, like for real. Like it's literally, if you were to buy hundreds, you're spending over $600 on it. You know.
And then we do offer a 3 kilo and a 15 kilo. If someone's interested.
And as far as the teas and stuff, the teas, are you still doing custom teas to people's, you know, if somebody has a specific
I am not going to, I am Dave. I'm no longer, it's kind of grew past the, I am doing custom amendments. If there's a grower out there that's looking for, you know, they want to build their own soil for a grow outside, or they want to amend what they have, I am there and down for that. Okay. Of course, there's a minimum for that. It's always been that way. And then, you know, as far as the teas go, I'm no longer going to build it price-wise for each individual person.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to start selling everything by basically the pound, Dave.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
That works. Yeah.
So number one, you want a pound of it, or number two, you want a pound of it, or 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you get a good amount of, you know, you get a good amount of fucking grows out of it. You know what I mean? Like even at the pound.
You know, if you're a small guy, a pound of everything, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be chilling for a minute. Yeah, you're gonna be chilling for a minute. You know, the see, and the other thing too is like the amendment too, guys. Like, listen, you know, you're gonna go out and a lot of people buy, you know, decent soil. You know, let's say you're using Lush or you know something like that or Green Fields. You know, whatever it is. You know, with the amendment. That $45 bag of soil, you know, you reuse it with $5 worth of amendment. So now your next run of soil is literally costing you however many bags you have. You know, if you have 10 bags, it's costing you $50 to revamp that soil. You know, you might have to top it off a little bit. You know what I mean? But in reality, it's costing you, you know, from what cost you $600 to get that first run done. The next run's literally costing you fucking, you know, 50 clams. Let's say if it's 10 pots, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, honestly, with our amendment, depending on your pot size, I can only tell you for
50 gallons,
for every 10 gallons, for every 10 gallons, it's $1.
Yeah. It's 50 gallons is what I should have said that. 50 gallons is $5. You know what I mean? So if you're running fucking 10s and fucking 20s, you know, you're literally spending $2 a fucking to revamp your soil.
And understand, and Jay also, so you understand this also, guys. I mean, your soil is going to have a lot of different charge in it already. So if we can get an outgoing EC charge on it, it's very, very simple on the label. I can break down for you how many grams and where it's going to bring you on the EC chart. Okay. So if your soil is carrying a 500, 500 parts per million, I can give you the right charge so you can bring that up to whatever you want. Okay. So I can actually, if it's 500, I don't have to put everything in to make a 1700 parts per million. I only need to add 12, enough to bring up that extra 1200 parts per million. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Because let's be honest, you can make soil too hot. Now, the cool thing I need everybody to know about our soil amendment, okay? Everybody uses worm castings, okay? I got no problem with worm castings. The problem I have is with how worm castings, some of them are made, and how consistent we can be on what is the true nutrient factor in those things. Okay?
It's all over the fucking
So if you have someone decomposing newspaper and cardboard and all that, to me, that's not my kind of worm casting, because you have all the formaldehydes, you have all the other shit that's in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I don't dig that. So
you don't want them up taking all that shit and then shitting it out.
Yeah.
What's that?
Fucking poison.
Yeah, you don't want them to be picking all that shit up and then shitting it out.
And that's what they're doing. And so if you are getting a worm casting, you're going to run into where you want it to be a protein base. So they're eating foods, they're eating vegetables, they're eating waste. Okay. So if we can, that's great, but still it fluctuates so much back and forth still on a worm casting. So we use a medical grade black fly insect frost.
And
Okay. I not only use the waste from the black fly, I actually use the larva from the black fly. Okay. Guys, I'm telling you what that does to a soil. The chitins it adds, the however you want to say it, chitin, whatever.
How the plant reacts to it too. The plant fucking reacts to that shit also, bro.
They react to it. It's a very stable nitrogen. Okay, it runs about a 7. I think it runs like a 747 as far as an MPK value I'm adding to it. It works as a slow release. I also have a pelletized version, which I sent you, Dave. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I used it.
And I'm just telling you, we use black fly insect frost instead of worm castings. And I feel we have a far, far, far superior product.
Well, the frost, you know, causes the fucking defense response. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like this, that frost does a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, worm castings is doing this. The frost is doing this, this, and that. You know, so there's, you know, it's a better option. It's 100% better option. You know, I actually want to talk about
I don't have the amendment up right now because I'll be honest with anybody that's out there. I'm sold out for a little bit. It was outdoor season and we sold out. So we're manufacturing more as we speak right now.
All right, no big deal. I want to talk about, what's going on with the plugs and stuff? The, those, what do you call it? The ones that I had done, germination.
So these right here.
Those on the site? Yeah, those on the site. Oh, yeah, good.
Nope, they're not on the site yet. So everybody knows I do not manufacture my own plug. Okay. I do have it manufactured for me. And I just use peat moss. That's my mix. I could have went peat and cocoa. I could have went cocoa. I could have went a million different ways, but I wanted peat because I want that kind of built-in humic into the product already. And what we do is we inoculate it with hydrobio and give it a 1.5. Is it one? No. Yeah, I think it's a 1.5 EC charge, which is about 500 parts per million. So I pre-charge the cells. Okay. And then we basically dehydrate them back. So now we have a pre-inoculated, pre-charged plug.
That's dope. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, you literally got to put like what is it, Chris? 3 teaspoons or some shit on it? What the fuck was it?
In order to wet it, you'll only put 3 tablespoons to start per plug. And to be honest, the best way to do it is just elevate your tray. It's not going to be your typical where you let the tray actually sit in water. Okay. This plug will only hold 62.3% its volume in water. That's all it's going to hold. So it's 63%. So you're never going to get a rot out of it. And then it's going to hold that water. It's not going to let it gravity drain out. Okay.
They germinated quick as fuck in those plugs, dude.
I bet you if you're over 3 days, and this is without pre-germination, hey, check this out. Jay, you'll like this. I actually preload these things with seeds and leave them on the shelf.
That's cool.
And when I need them, I put them in a tray, add water, and boom, they germinate.
Yeah.
That's I kind of like that idea.
Right, you can just
I'm telling you, it's
sell seeds that way.
Preloaded.
I'm telling you.
Plugs,
yeah, that'd be so cool.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, they work, dude. They're legit. You know,
and they pop. You don't have to worry about breaking a stem off. You don't have to worry about. I can't explain it. 3 days. It's 2.5 inches tall. We
I
plan.
didn't try, what do you call them though? I didn't try cloning them yet. Fucking, I didn't.
Cloning's going to be beautiful. I got a grower right now. He loves them.
See,
Yeah,
I do
absolutely
I
love
gotta
them.
get more. I gotta get more. I germinate
I do a
more.
shit ton of cloning. A shit ton of cloning. So looking into something like that would be awesome to find out how well it works.
And we'll definitely get that hooked up so we can do that, because you're going to absolutely love them. And understand something. So I have a grow room. It's a fairly nice grow room. I can get my humidities up into the 90s. I can get my humidities down into the 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I do my plugs, as soon as I wet them, I never cover them, Jay. My room sits at 92% humidity at 87 degrees.
Yeah, you don't need no
Those seeds
dome.
will pop.
Yeah.
I never get a stretch because, oops, I left the cover on too long. Oh, I let it go too. It's a complete 100% natural growth.
Hell
Now, the
yeah.
beauty of it is you auto flower guys. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're running auto flowers, one of the hardest things to do is to run a hot soil. Okay?
And you're fucked.
You get fucked because it'll germinate, it'll come up, it'll look great, and then all of a sudden that fucking plant just burns off right at the stem, right?
Yep.
Happens all the time if your soil's too hot. I can run over 2,200 parts per million in the soil. Hot. Hot. A lot of guys say, okay, so I put a little cocoa or a little topping, right, of a different soil, because as soon as we get the vascular system built in the plant from seed, then it can handle those higher EC numbers, okay? The beauty of my plugs is you just load that sucker up, put it right in the middle of your forever pot, add 3 tablespoons of water, and let her rip, tater chip, man. You're going to have some fucking... There's no stopping growth. There's no holding it back. The taproot in 3 days is already barreling down into that pot.
Fucking humidity up and fucking let it roll. You know, that's it. You know?
And I can be honest, and Jay, it all comes down to the seed as well as my product. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I can't say my product's going to make every fucking bullshit seed pop. Okay.
No, yeah, if you get bullshit seeds and it's like you said after 3 days and it's not, you get a bullshit seed.
I mean, there's nothing I can do, but I can tell you right now, if they're viable seeds, they are popping in 3 days and they're coming out gorgeous.
Yeah, they popped fast. They popped, like I said, they popped great for me. You know, I haven't tried them in.
And once again, I'm not necessarily so much different than everybody else. I just think we took the time to do some research to find out what can make the plug better, and that's really the name of the game.
Yeah, that's it, dude. You know, like it's literally.
And I haven't set a price point on it yet either, but I'm getting there, Dave.
Yeah, well, maybe you should try fucking doing it a little faster. You know, fucking guy, it took you a fucking year and a half to get the goddamn website going. Fucking that website's like pulling teeth. I'm like, you get a website going every time we call. Fucking, I'm like, you get a website going?
It's going.
But it is, listen, it's I got it up here. I'm gonna put it back up there too for anybody fucking who didn't see it. That's it. But listen, the Vital Humic, it's a fantastic product. The teas, I love the teas. I use them all the time. I'm actually using them with that. I'm actually using them with the that Trico Jordan. So, and that thing is fucking cranking past everything else. I got I think three I'm doing with C&G, 3 I'm doing with House and Gardens, 3 I'm doing with fucking Roots, and 3 I'm doing with Newts. So I got myself spread out pretty fucking thin on different nutrients, But I like this stuff, Yeah.
Dave, I'm gonna throw it out, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll throw out CG20, okay?
What's that?
It's a 20% discount. Anybody wants to shop with that code. It's good for 3 days.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
So let me put it up there. Hold on a second.
CG20. It'll be a
I'll throw that
20%
on my
discount.
Discord too.
Yeah, I gotta get over on your Discord too, bro. I gotta get you on mine also.
Yeah, we're starting to do really good on Discord.
Are you?
Yeah,
I don't pay enough attention to it, dude.
I'm shipping clones out the yin yang, bro.
That's good, dude. You know, that's real good. Fucking.
Hey Jay, I really hope I get to work with you, man.
Hell yeah!
I think I have some
down.
ideas for your propagation that could be really interesting.
I'm always down for new ideas, man. It's an evolving industry, as we know that.
My whole background is make things easier. Okay.
Hell yeah!
And my job, my entire life has been. I guess it's a term used, and however you want to use it, but you know, usually big growers or any kind of thing, you have a bunch of crop monkeys out in the field, and that's what they are. And if we can take measuring out of the picture and we can take thinking out of the picture, it makes our jobs a whole lot easier. And that's really what we're trying to do. If I can get plants healthy, then people aren't spending every day going, "Oh my God, the tip is yellow. Oh my God, what's going on here? Oh my God,
and it
what's
could
happening?"
and it could be like 40 different things.
Yeah,
and
exactly. You know,
the whole thing we want to do is let's try and let's be honest. You get a healthy plant, I can do anything I want with it.
Yeah.
You get a healthy soil, I can do whatever I want with it. That's the beauty of it.
Oh shit. It makes life a hell of a lot easier, I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean?
You got to see my front yard. It looks like a golf course.
Hey, with your products at hand, I'm pretty sure it does. Just looks like fucking turf.
It looks exactly like turf, man. It's so simple.
You know?
It's so simple.
Your neighbors are like, I hate the guy.
Yeah.
That's the point, Jay. Jay, that's the point. I'm not Jay. Jay, I'm the asshole that actually goes, "Hey, come over here. Take your shoes off. Come here.
Take a walk on this. Get that between your toes. Get that between your toes, Joe. Get that between your toes like a creepy motherfucker. Come over here.
Neighbor's wife is like, he's going to make you take your shoes off again. Yeah.
He's like, come over here. Hey, guys, come here for a minute. Take off your shoes.
Hey, people are taking this. People coming out to get something from the car. They're like, don't look at him. Don't look at him.
Yeah, they're like fucking running past this motherfucker. They're like the creepy guys outside. Don't go out there.
So I live in the suburbs. So I have a lawn, and then I have a sidewalk, and then I have what they call a parkway, right? A little piece of grass in between the street and the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That's my fucking piece of land. Don't fucking park on it.
Don't let your dog shit on it.
Don't let your dog piss on it.
Yeah, like a fucking maniac. Like a fucking maniac. The neighborhood Griswold.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fucking the Griswold of grass.
People walking their dogs now. They cross the street when they get to my house.
Yeah, because they fucking who's the asshole who's asking people to take their fucking shoes and socks off? That's why they're like, I'm not going by this fucking creepy bastard's house. It ain't the dog's fucking shit. It's that, you maniac. It has nothing to do with the dog shitting. They just don't want to deal with that crazy shit. Oh my God.
Come on, man. I mow that shit myself.
Your neighbors must just be like, what the fuck? So, I like to do a fucking trivia question every week. Fucking give away some fucking Aero Mixer swag. You know, Aero Mixer fucking was nice enough to hook us up with shit, sponsor the show. And this is a 50% off coupon. So, Chris, I'm going to let you fucking ask a question about something that we discussed tonight. The first person who's on who gets it right will win a 50% off, which is about $140 savings is about that. So it's about $140 off the fucking Aero Mixer. So Shoot, Chris, what do you got?
What is the bricks
Don't make it too
level?
hard.
What is the bricks level that we want to achieve to stop grasshoppers from feeding on the plants?
Come on, we said this. We said this. Who's got it? We went over this.
Let me open up the comment. I can see this. He was paying attention.
Yeah, see who's paying attention. I'll be surprised if somebody was. No, but it's. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint to make it fucking a little easier. No.
Discount code.
No. Come on, who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it? We just gave you the fucking biggest clue ever. All right. It's fucking it's let me give you a hint. It's more than 10 and less than 30. Who's got it?
Come on.
Bunch of fucking stoners. Charlie fucking knows it, but he already got one, so
Yeah.
come on. We're gonna have to fucking change the question here because hey, Victor Shuchuk. There you go, Vic. Wait, you already won one, didn't you? Fuck. All right, you can give it to somebody, Victor.
I got Eric on there with 20.
All right, you know what? Fuck, Victor, you want to fucking give it to the next guy in line? Since you already got, I don't know if you need 2 arrow mixes. So who was the second one to get it behind?
Well, I got
Eric?
on mine. I got Eric Page first.
I have Charlie. I got Victor, Charlie, and then Eric. But Charlie already got one, so he don't need it, he said. So Eric Page, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Eric Page, you won yourself a 50% off coupon.
Whoop, whoop.
I'll send you the I don't know what's my fucking Facebook now. I'll give it to Jay. I'll give Jay the code. I'm not even gonna bother sending the certificate. All you're gonna need is the code underneath this fucking thing here. So I'll scratch that code off and I'll give it to Jay. And he'll give it to you.
I'll text it to him.
Yeah. Make it fucking easier. You know, you don't need to bother fucking having it mailed out or nothing. It's all you need is that little code, you know. So let me think here. You know what? We haven't done a fucking free arrow mixer in a long time. We haven't done a free arrow mixer in a couple weeks. Let me see how many we got here. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 free arrow mixes. So we're gonna do a free arrow mixer too. All right. So I'm gonna ask the fucking question. All right.
Uh-oh.
Let me think here. Let me open up my little fucking tricks here. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna ask. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Go back there. Okay. So when we were talking earlier about the humic acids, what do humic acids do for soil? It's real simple. We went over it fucking before. It's whoever can answer that question will win the free arrow mixer. It's not gonna be an easy one, but what do humic acids do for soil? Just the basic, one of the most important things that it does, I guess. Fucking, you know. So, first one to get that wins this fucking thing. Increases water retention. You could say that. Yeah, it's fucking, I guess, you know, that's improves the soil structure. Yeah, we could say that. Yeah, I'll go with that one. Fucking, I'll go with that one. Fucking, you know, I'll go with that. That was kind of in the purview. That was right in the purview. I was looking for a little bit different the structure, but it's exactly what it does. Just fucking, you know, it increases the water retention, which fucking, you know, the structure, et cetera, et cetera. So, Mr. Chief, you won yourself an arrow mixer, my friend. Paying attention. Yeah, write that one down. Greta, you want to give away some plugs?
What's that?
You hear me? You said you want to
What do
give
you-
away some of those plugs? You got a little batch of those you want to give away? I'd like to see somebody fuck with those.
You know what? I'll give away a batch of 10 of them because I don't have a shit ton.
Yeah, that works.
10?
I'd like to see somebody fuck with those, you know what I mean? So
Oh, they'll
all
have
right,
fun with
so
them.
so we'll do Jay, you answer this question. Whatever you want to, whatever question you want to ask. It could be about anything. You win a 10-pack of those fucking those pre-charged plugs. So shoot, Jay, what do you got?
We lost them.
Uh-oh. Jay, we lost you.
Nope, I'm back. I was on mute because
right.
my daughters were talking. Okay, I got you. Hold on.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So this is a cannabis history question here.
All right. First one to get it. Anybody can get this one. This is open to everybody, winners or not.
Through sudden unemployment and financial hardship, the decline of which industry gave rise to the explosion of the cannabis industry in the Humboldt area? The decline of what industry gave rise to the cannabis industry in the Humboldt area?
Let's see if somebody gets this one. I don't know if I'm right on this one. I have an idea on it. I just don't know if I'm right. Anybody got this one? Come on now.
Ding, 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 ding. No, it wasn't cotton.
Nope. Logging?
Master Chief got it on my screen.
Logging. There you go, Chief. Fucking doubled down. Chief got fucking an aero mixer and the 10-pack of special fucking pre-charged plugs. Good work, brother. 10-pack of pre-charged plugs.
Dave, you send me
Chris.
their info.
Yeah, I'll get you there. I'll get you his info. I'll get you his info. Chief, just hit my fucking my Facebook DM and make sure I got your information. All right. Well,
here's the last one.
Yeah,
I'll throw out 100 gram of hydrobio. Okay.
Ooh, big. Oh, this is going to be a lucky bastard here.
So anyways, I just wanted to go to someone who's never used it, if we can.
I think the only person who we got in here that has Bobby. Bobby's in here. I think nobody else used it. So, all right. So let's see. The first person who hasn't used hydrobio, I know the two people who have. So out of the people who haven't, shoot, let's roll. Let's see what we got.
All right. What did I do as a career between propagation with my family to getting back into propagation again? What career did I have?
I remember.
What company?
No, what basically profession? What was my job? What did I do?
PIMP.
Do you remember, Jay?
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Yes.
I think.
There's your hint. It's a hard one.
I must be fucking retarded.
It's a very hard career.
What, porn star?
Well, there's a lot of things. Hey, there's a lot of things getting laid in what I did.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you don't want to hit rock bottom.
Back-breaking job. Yeah, I must be fucking retarded. I'm like I sold shoes with Al Bundy. Bricks? Bricks.
They're
kind of
spelled differently. Spelled differently.
So
like Master Chief's kind of close.
Construction.
I mean,
construction.
Technically,
What was it?
What did he say?
Come on. Construction.
It's
you
also
can say construction's fine.
It's also a secret society.
Yeah.
The fucking fraternal order of balls and shaft.
Yeah.
Guys, I was in masonry restoration. I was a masonry guy. I
Master
laid
Chief
brick.
got it as you were saying that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So whoever said bricks earlier, fucking that was masonry. Fucking, you know. So, so I guess bricks was the fucking correct answer. I guess he didn't say masonry, but bricks, fucking masonry, right? Or did we go with masonry? Which one did we go with?
Just give it to both of them if they both haven't used it. I'll take care of it.
There we go. Fucking, we got fucking a double fucking triple whammy over here. Fucking doubling down. Fucking Chief, you're gonna fucking have all sorts of products. You better see some content, pal. Shit, what the fuck's that called again? Oh yeah, Hydrobio. Hydrobio, Chief, and Victor. All right. Well, with that, I say we close it out.
Bid you adieu.
Chris, is there anything you want anybody to know as far as that maybe something we didn't go over or anything like that? Or any emails or anything they can reach you at? Blah blah blah.
They can reach out to me. They can reach out to me at sales@CNG Organics. If we do that, you guys have any questions? You have any deployment questions, like an SOP or how you're growing? I'm always happy to hear how guys are growing. Okay. And the other thing is, guys, I might not be the most technical, but I've tested and tested and tested the products, and results are what I believe in. And I know we can get the results if you use the product correctly. That's all I can tell everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
you,
tell people how to grow differently. I'm just trying to help them grow better. That's all.
Hell yeah.
More.
Just think of us as an add-on, right, Dave?
More efficient. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, you guys, anybody who knows me from fucking groups and stuff, you know, I scream fucking how important, you know, humics and stuff like that are. You know what I mean? And you also know that I trash products like fucking left and right also. So if the shit's garbage, I would straight tell you. You know what I mean? You know, it don't work. Shit works. It literally works. You'll see a difference, you know, one couple, you know, couple of what do you call it's in, you'll start seeing the plant and you'll see the difference in efficiency with whatever nutrient line you're using. You start using this, you're going to see that nutrient line perform way better, you know, because it's going to be the whole thing's just going to be more efficient. You know what I mean? Like, because you know you're touching those bases, you're going to see a fucking rise in your terpene contents. You're going to see a rise in the fucking resin production of the plant. You're going to see a rise all across the board, you know. But the end product is where you worry about, you know. So you definitely will see the fucking difference, you know. I tell every single person. And
it's really, really hard to fuck up with hydrobio.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But every person that I've gotten into it, you know, over the last fucking, you know, 17, 18 months, whatever it's been, you know, has been a repeat customer, fucking brought other customers on board. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those kind of products, you know. It replaces a bunch of shit, which is fucking great, you know. There's nothing like instead of having to do 10 bottles to get 10 inputs, you know. One thing you get, you know, 10 bags worth of shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to it. You know, there's a lot.
And also, if anybody's interested in the teas, reach out to me at sales because they're not on the website yet.
Yeah.
So if they reach out to sales at CNG Organics, let me know they're interested in the tea packages. I can get them some pricing.
Yeah, just let them know. You know, if anybody's going to the site, you know, like I said, it's the you know, CG20 for the code. If you email him, just, you know, let him know that you came over from watching the YouTube, whether it was live or if you watch it later. You know, if you guys,
that would be great.
Product, you know, just let them know where you came from. You know, we don't get nothing for it, but you know, it's nice to know some kind of a metric. You know, that we're helping out people. You know, I like to see, you know, that interaction. You know, so, and it also gives me an idea what, you know, if we're, you know, having, you know, any kind of an impact on it, because the product really should be used more. You know what I mean? So I like to know if people start using it. You know, because one, I can also help if if you can't get in touch with Chris, you can also get in touch with me. I've been using it for a long time. You know, and I've got if people can't get in touch with Chris, I've talked to him and been like, just do this, 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 and this, and they're fine. So, but it's so easy to use, like you can't fuck it up. Usually people fuck up somewhere else and it's not, has nothing to do with any of this kind of product. You know what I mean? So, but it helps correct those kind of issues, So, but anyway, I don't want to keep anybody any longer. We're about 2 hours in, a little over, and I just want to, Chris, thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming and giving all that info, man. It was great.
Hey, thanks for inviting me because Dave will tell you I know nothing about strains. I know nothing. I mean, I know my cannabis is, but that isn't my forte. The genetics, I'm not super well knowledge about, but I will tell you this: if you want to show your plant's potential, well, I can make that happen.
Get with me after this. I'd love to send you some seeds that you can mess around with.
Absolutely. We're actually starting. I just planted some seeds this morning. They'll pop in 3 days. I'm going to put them outside.
Nice.
And we're going to do a late season start from seed.
Sweet. Nice.
On some.
What are you going to do?
Photo
photos?
Periods?
Are you going to do photos? Yeah. All right.
I'm going to do photos. I'm going to see how big I can veg them out so that when we do start turning, I won't have a 12-foot plant. I might have a 5-foot plant. Nice, compact.
Yeah.
And let it rock.
Yeah. Listen, something, listen, if you grow it right, you don't need to have a fucking 12-foot tall fucking, by 30-foot wide fucking, Hanukkah bush in your fucking yard. You know what I mean? Fucking.
I'll probably just end up topping it. I'll probably end up topping it maybe once, maybe twice. And just let it rip. I
haven't even topped anything this round, bro. I might just fucking rock and roll this round and just do candelabras, bro. Fucking, I haven't done just a regular grow where I just let the fucking main rock and whatnot, dude. In so long.
It's my favorite.
I like it, dude. Because I like that look, dude. It's fucking cool looking, man. It's a cool look, and I also like to see that fucking big ass cola growing. Like that when you just let that one rock. It always looks so crazy, So I'm thinking about just letting him go. The Trico Jordan, I have to fucking clone out, But the everything else in there, bro, I got some really good ones going too. I got Great Balls of Fire with Grape Stomper in there. I got 3 different phenos of 79 Skunk. I got Headband crossed with Cap Junkie. The Trico Jordan. What the fuck else I got there? I got Tropicana, Trop Cherry crossed with Purple Tangy. What the fuck? I forgot, man. I got a bunch of other shit.
Dave, I got it coming. They just did a tissue culture on it, so it'll be ready probably in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I got you your donkey butter.
Nice. What's he doing? Yeah. He's sending the tissue culture of it, or he's sending.
I'm gonna send you some clones of it.
Nice.
They tissue culture it and actually grow the clones for me.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so happy, bro. I love a fucking good old.
So in other words, you're getting a 100% clean strain.
Yeah. Oh, that's my number one.
Man. That's the one you hold for your mother plant.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a mama fucking bear. I think it's gonna be fucking taking its own little fucking tent up. I'm not. I love that shit, bro.
That donkey butter has the most gorgeous orange and brown and yellow natural fade you'll ever see in a plant.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous.
They throw off some fucking beautiful stuff. I had one of the phenos I had last time I ran it fucking was like silver looking. It was purple and it fucking looked like a silvery blue fucking through it, bro. It was bonkers looking. Oh man, and it just had these like dark fucking evergreen fucking like hues like trusses through it. And then fucking purple dude, it was the most gorgeous fucking plant. It looked like something you would hang on a fucking like a Christmas tree, like a fucking ornament. The buds, they were nuts looking. It looked like they would. It looked like somebody took like glitter and fucking threw glitter at it. It was the fucking craziest. It sparkled like silver like that. It was nuts. I never seen a plant like look like it in my life. So, and the smoke.
And if guys are having problems hardening up their plants, they got to try my hardener out too.
Yeah, that shit works good, man, and it's natural too. You don't have to, you don't have to pump your plant full of fucking, the Moab and all that other shit. You know what I mean? It's great stuff. It's that stuff. It's got that organic, moniker, like it's fucking, because it's whatever food grade or whatever the fuck they call it, but it's not organic at all. It's still a fucking chemical. You know what I mean? Like the fucking food grade don't mean anything in this country no more.
Hell no, it doesn't.
Nope. So, but anyway, guys, we can talk all fucking night. So,
yeah, we could.
I appreciate everybody fucking hanging out, man. Fucking, anybody who watches later on, hit Chris up, sales@cngorganics.com. For the next 72 hours, fucking CG20 will get you 20% off on the website for HydroBio. And if you need beans from Jay, his website is coming up on the screen right now, AmericanNovelties.com. Fucking, you can get him there. He's got some of the best clones and fucking best genetics fucking going around.
Yep.
So we're actually happy to fucking bring anybody, into those genetics and into any of the guys that we have on this show. You know what I mean? Like, they're vetted, and you're gonna, So, Jay, as always, my man, fucking thank you for chilling. Fucking,
it's always fun.
We are back next week with my boy, fucking Kevin Blomberg, the GOAT. Fucking, fucking GOAT
Yeah,
genetics.
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited for that one.
It, dude.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, Kevin's a good dude, man. Fucking, this is the first time he's actually doing a fucking show, bro. He hates doing this shit, but I busted his balls to make him do it.
We're gonna pop his cherry, dude.
He is one of the most knowledgeable and personable guys I've ever met.
Yeah, he's smart, bro. Smart.
USDA. He knows large ag too.
Bro, yeah, he grows for the USDA for that cannabis fucking research and shit, bro. Like, he's legit, dude. He's a bugged out dude, man. I can't wait for next week, bro. Can't wait. Fucking Kevin's my man. So, anyway, guys, good night. Fucking farewell. Mazel tov. L'chaim. Fucking, we will see you next week with the GOAT. All right? Chris, thank you for hanging out, man. All right, brother?
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
We'll talk to you, brother.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you guys.
Have a good night, everybody.